to work. So in today's lecture, we will discuss about one of the real case study which is used in our day-to-day life we are using. That we will discuss in today's lecture. And the topic name is called as recommender system. It is a case study of, you can say, of artificial intelligence. It is also the case study of machine learning. It is also one of the case study of your data science, right? All the disciplines are merged to build this particular case study. So as the name suggests, here the name is called as a recommender system, right? So this word you may heard when whenever a student is graduating from a particular institute and he wants to pursue higher study, right? So what he asked to his professor or faculty member, sir, shall you write a recommendation letter for me, right? So that faculty member is writing some recommendation stating the strength and weakness of the student and whatever course covered by that particular faculty, he is evaluating the student in that topics and what is his mark, how he is performing, what is the strong point, what is the weak point, everything we are mentioning in the recommender system. So it is just a you can say that we are writing in support of the student's candidature, right? Similarly, when you go to the real life nowadays, you know that due to the COVID scenario, all people are now dependent on online shopping, right? Nobody is want to go to market to purchase the things, although the situation is now improving. But if you see the last couple of months, people are interested to purchase the product online, or they want to select some product, right? And they want to order these products online, so they want to get the things in their doorstep, right? So we are very much nowadays habituated with online shopping in comparison to the last decade. Nobody is interested in the online shopping because they may be reluctant due to fraud, due to the quality of product, due to many things. But this decade, if you see especially, nobody is hesitating to purchase the things online. Everybody believe that if they order a particular item from a particular website or particular shopping site, then that product will be delivered to that person, right? So we are going to discuss more about the recommender system. So these are the topics I would like to highlight before going for the real case study, because you have some primary means basic background foundations of this recommender system. Then only I can tell you the case study so that you will understand. So first we'll go for what is a recommendation system, what are the components, what kind of problems, what kind of, many people asked yesterday, what kind of projects are there in a particular domain like artificial intelligence or machine learning. So we'll see that part in the introduction. Then we'll see what are the different types of recommender system. Then we'll see, once we build a particular recommender system, how we are going to evaluate the performance of the recommender system. That is nothing but evaluating the accuracy of a recommendation system. How you can assure that whatever system or whatever project you are building, that project is beneficial to the community, right? So that's why we need to calculate the accuracy of a particular system. Then the conclusion is there, and I will give you a set of references. If anybody is interested, they can more highlight on these references. If you want to give this problem domain to your student, then you can give these articles or the references to the student so that they can start from the scratch. So coming to the definition of a recommender system. So if you see, there is some some synonyms are also there. So don't be confused with these synonyms, because while we are going through this talk, then you can see sometimes I will refer as recommender system, sometimes we will go for recommendation system, sometimes you can say recommender platform, recommendation platform, recommender engine, recommendation engine, right? So you can see here there is two basket I can say, right? One is You can pick one word from this basket, another word from this basket, right? So all are same only, right? Telling recommender system or recommendation system, both are same. So don't be confused with this terminology. So what is a recommender system? So if you ask the very first definition, I will tell you. If you see the Flipkart, generally in my talk, I give example of Flipkart and Amazon. The number of users in the Flipkart and Amazon is very huge, right? As the number of users are very huge, it is not possible to analyze each and everything using the machine learning techniques or artificial intelligence or whatever technology you are looking for. It is not practically possible to go through each and every individual person's choice in order to say that whether that person is interested in refrigerator or whether the person is interested in computer or whether the person is interested for some other thing, right? So what we are doing here basically, we are interested for the subclass of the system. Subclass means, for example, I am taking this class. Yesterday I have seen that 100 people are present. So what I will do, I want feedback for my lecture, right? Whether this lecture is introductory level or intermediate level or expert level. So what I will do, I cannot ask 100 people that whether this lecture is good or bad, or whether it is in intermediate level or high expert level or foundation level. So what I will do, instead of going for the class, what I will do, I will ask only 5 people. Out of 100, I will take a subclass. The subclass is only 5 people. I will request these 5 people to give the feedback. Randomly, I will choose 5 out of 100. So whatever these people are giving or whatever they are commenting, that I will accept as my feedback for this particular lecture. Similarly, whenever you go for the Flipkart, what we are doing, instead of going for this bulk number of or massive number of users, what we can do, we will go for a set of users, subset of the users you can say, and out of this subset of users, we will analyze their record, and accordingly we can suggest a particular model which is applicable to all the users, right? So here in recommendation system, we are interested to go for a subclass of the system because class is very huge but subclass is very small, right? It is also called as your information filtering system. Information filtering means whatever informations you have for a particular building, a particular project, whatever data you have, all the data may not required for analysis, right? For example, I want to establish the relationship between two different people. If I want to find the relationship between two different people, so suppose I am taking their mobile number, right? The mobile number of the first person and the mobile number of the second person is completely different. So what I can do, I cannot relate, I cannot establish some kind of relationship using the mobile number. Or you go for the Aadhaar number, or you go for the driving license. Any type of identity, whatever you have, if you compare the ID with one person with another person, you will not find any kind of similarity in that. You can say that this person's mobile phone belongs to the Jio, and this second person's mobile phone also belongs to Jio. So this is the similarity between these two users. In that way, you can relate. But if you go for the number, both numbers are 10-digit number, and you cannot establish some relationship. So we have to extract some attributes. We have to extract those things where we can establish a relationship between two different people, right? For example, I'll ask this person, what is your habit or what is your hobby? Second person, I'll ask, what is your hobby? So based upon that, if their hobby is same or interest is same, then I can say both are interested in that particular thing, right? That's why we call this one as a information filtering system. We are filtering the information because all the information, whatever we have, that all informations are not required. We require only the relationship, only the information which is used to relate a particular user with another user, right? This is the first definition of recommender system. Second one, you can see what recommendation system is doing. It is predicting the rating or preference a user would give to a particular item. For example, from Flipkart, nowadays sales, the Durga Puja sale is going on, or Deepavali sale is going on. So you are visiting Flipkart and you are purchasing a product, let's say X you have purchased. So once X item is delivered to you, Flipkart will drop one email to your registered email ID and it will ask, rate this product out of 5. Rate this product out of 5. So you can rate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 1.5, 2.5, something like that, based upon the online shopping website, their scale, you can rate. So how we are going to predict this rating? How we can predict that how much rating we are going to get for a particular product? Or if you are purchasing this product, before you are giving a particular rating, how I can predict what is the rating? Suppose my prediction is saying you are going to give 4, but you are giving 3. So what is the difference? The difference is 1. So I can say error is 1. The error value is 1. I am predicting 4, but you are giving 3. Or my prediction is 3, you are giving 4. In this case also, you are getting an error rate of 1. So such type of rating or preference we want to predict. If we can predict that, what we can do? Suppose you are interested, there is another product X days, right? Another product X days, which is similar to the product number X. So what we can do? The same product, age X days is similar product age X. What I can do? I can suggest you can also purchase X days. How we are going to predict this thing? Because of these rating values. If you can predict the rating, and if the rating is close to 5, then we can say the user may be interested to purchase this particular product. So this is the basic definition. What are the practical applications? So there are a lot of applications are there, not limited to our online shopping website. As you can see, nowadays we are watching movie in the Netflix, or we are listening songs or videos in YouTube and Spotify, Amazon, Flipkart, eBay, Levi's, Facebook, Twitter. Everywhere we are using the recommender system. Whenever you are opening your YouTube, you are searching a particular video. When you start that video, the next video will be selected based upon what you are interested for. You can see you are not interested for some other type of videos. That video will never come as your next video. Suppose you are interested for romantic type of song, then the next song will also be played based upon your interest. How YouTube is suggesting that thing? That is because of the recommender system. Similarly, Amazon, whenever, or Flipkart, whenever you are purchasing a particular product, it is suggesting that if you purchase X product with Y product, then you will get 20% extra discount. How they are suggesting this one? That is because of the recommender system. Okay. Or in Facebook, you know that something is coming, that is people you may know. Suppose I will share my mobile number with you, and you are saving your mobile number in your contact list. My number you are saving in your contact list. So as my mobile number is connected to my Facebook, so what will happen? If you are there in the Facebook, in your people you may know, my profile will automatically come. How they are suggesting this friend list? That is because of the recommender system. So recommender system is a huge applications, not necessarily limited to these 3 lists. Whatever I mentioned in this slide, it may be generalized to any domain. So what are the components the recommendation system has? The recommendation system has 4 components. First one is user, right? First one, we have to emphasize on a particular user. The user may be anyone. Second one is nothing but the database, where we are keeping all the order history. Whenever you are purchasing a particular order in the Flipkart or Amazon, they are maintaining your history. Why they are maintaining a history? History gives a summary information. History also tells what kind of products you are interested for, right? So everything mentioned in the database. If you are not aware of this database, if you are not belongs to the computer science background, so you assume this database is nothing but a Microsoft Excel sheet. You have seen the Microsoft Excel sheet. This Microsoft Excel sheet is sufficient to maintain the ratings of a single user, of all the users, their ratings we can maintain the Microsoft Excel. right? Although it is a complex one, but in a simpler term, you can say Microsoft Excel can also be treated as a database, right? The third component you can see, that is a recommender system, for which you have to write the code, or you have to develop an algorithm, or you have to develop a particular model, right? So this is the third component. Fourth component is that by looking into a particular user's interest and its purchase history, okay, whatever model you have developed in this third component, recommendation system, you are going to suggest some items to that particular user. For example, you can see here this is a movie, this is another movie. These two movie is suggested to this particular user based upon its interest, based upon the algorithm, based upon whatever data we have collected about that particular user, right? So how we can build a good system? In order to build a good system, what we need artificial intelligence techniques, or in deep you can say we need machine learning techniques, or you can say nowadays people are always telling about the deep learning techniques. Such techniques you can apply in this module in order to suggest a set of items to a particular user. So we want to build an intelligent system using the machine learning or AI or deep learning technique in order to suggest the item which closely match the choice of a particular user. Whatever item I am suggesting, if that item will be purchased by a particular user, then I can say my recommendation system is performing well, or accuracy of the system is good. Now, whether it is limited to the movie domain, here I am giving an example of movie domain, right? It is not limited to movie domain. You can go for the news domain. For example, suppose I am interested only in the political news. I am not interested in the entertainment news or some other news. So what will happen? The recommendation system is going to give the news links that is related to only politics, right? Or if you are interested in Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies, right? So the new movies whatever coming for the Bollywood and Hollywood, that type of news can only be given to you, right? For that we are using the recommendation system. And movie domain, nowadays we are very much habituated with this one, that is Netflix is there, Film Affinity is there, Movie Lens is there. These are using the recommender system. Similarly, in the news domain or in the music domain, those who are using Geo connection, you have an app called JioSaavn, right? In JioSaavn app, suppose you are selecting the random button. Suppose you repeatedly listening some music, and if you are selecting a random button, the songs which you are interested for, their properties will be taken care by the recommendation system in order to play a particular music in your mobile phone. Right? Suppose I am interested in, let's say, some romantic type of music, then such type of music will only be played because I am interested for that particular music. Other musics will be not given as priority whenever I am going for such type of recommendation system. And frankly speaking, you can also apply recommendation system in the higher education or in the education system as well. How we can do? Suppose in a particular class, let's say in X class, there is 3 compulsory subjects. Let me write the compulsory subject as C1, C2, C3. And there is an optional subject, that is O1. In optional subject, choosing this optional subject, a student has 3 choices. Let's say the subject name is O11 and O12, another subject is O13. Out of these 3 subjects, the student has to choose one of the elective, okay, or optional subject. So how this recommendation system will help to the student? The recommendation system will take the marks obtained by the student in the previous years or previous semesters. The recommendation system also takes the extracurricular activities of the particular student or other factors of the student. By analyzing everything, the recommendation system will suggest which optional subject is most fit based upon the characteristics of the student. For example, you know that some of the optional subjects are mathematics oriented, some of them are science oriented, some are biology oriented. So one student may not be interested in all the domains, right? So whenever we are talking about these elective or optional subjects, what we can do, we can suggest the appropriate subject based upon the scores obtained by the student, or based upon the interest of the student, or based upon the extracurricular activity. By combining these things, what I can do, I can suggest a particular subject to the student. In that domain also, you can apply the recommender system. So basically, in my talk, I will address these three questions. In these three questions, I am going to tell you a test case where you will understand how these machine learning or artificial intelligence techniques is really working whenever we are going for a online shopping or e-commerce website. So the first question raised in the database, that is, which information do we use to make recommendations? As I mentioned, all the informations whatever you have, all are not required. All are not required, because whenever you are going for data analysis, all information may not be useful. So how we can decide which information is useful or which information is not useful, or which attribute I will take, which attribute I will skip. So based upon that, the first question is framed. The second question is that if we collect some information, how you are going to implement a recommendation system. Whether you will use the Python language, people are also telling, is there any drag and drop system is there, or you can go for the C language, C++, Python, or you can say LISP or Prolog, any language, whatever you are knowing, whether it is sufficient to implement a recommendation system or not. And frankly speaking, if you know that Microsoft Excel, if you are having a 50% knowledge in the Microsoft Excel, it is very easy to implement the recommendation system. But most of the people, as the popularity of the Python language is more, so nowadays people are moving or developing the algorithm in the Python only. But you can implement the same thing in the Microsoft Excel as well. The third question is with respect to the item whatever is selected, that is called as how to evaluate a recommendation system. Suppose you have designed a particular recommendation system, then how you can say that this recommendation system is performing well? Like I told you in yesterday's lecture, that whenever a student is performing, is writing the exam, we are calculating the student's SGPA, CGPA, or some other grades to say that whether the student is performing well or the student is not performing well. So if you build a particular recommendation system, how you are going to evaluate such a recommendation system? So coming to the first question, the test case is nothing but this question. The second question is nothing but about the test case. So before going to address this question, how to implement a recommendation system, I would like to tell the rest two questions, the question number 1 and question number 3, so that you can easily understand how we can go for how we can implement this recommender system. So see here, which information do we use to make recommendation? For example, in this figure you can see I have listed 5 movies. Movie number 1, movie number 2, movie number 3, movie number 4, movie number 5. There are 5 movies are there. Now you tell me each and every movie is one of the type. Like this movie is drama type, this movie is romantic type, some movie is sad type. Okay, some movie is based upon some real life events, right? So irrespective of the movie, I can maintain the genre. Genre means what type of that movie is. Like this movie is drama and this movie is romantic. Similarly, each and every movie has a director, each and every movie has a running length, whether it is 175 minutes or 2 hours 30 minutes, or it is a short movie that you can record. And you can also tell in the abstract what the movie is representing, means it's the abstract of the particular movie, short story about that particular movie. So irrespective of the movie, I can maintain these attributes. Why I am maintaining these attributes? If you maintain such attribute, suppose one person is interested in the drama movie, and let's say this movie is also a drama movie. Okay, so a user, if a particular person is interested in the drama movie, then I can suggest this particular movie to that particular user, because he is interested only in the drama movie, not in the romantic movie. That's why we are maintaining the database by following some attributes, so that we can easily extract the informations, right? And we can easily suggest the movies or the music, or you can say news to the particular user, right? which we basically called as our content-based information. These things are called as our content. These content informations we are using to suggest the thing. Next, what you have to do, you can also use the feedback concept. I told you in the feedback yesterday class also, feedback may be explicit feedback or it may be implicit feedback. So what happened? I have seen that this particular user, right? Let's say user number 1 has seen this particular movie. This movie is seen by this particular user, and this user rated this movie as 2 by 5. According to him, this movie is not that much good, right? So similarly, I'll ask other user who have already seen this particular movie. So I'll ask you rate the movies out of 5. So they can rate. So accordingly, I will say that the average rating of this particular movie is, let's say, 4. So whenever a user will see which movie I will check, which movie I will watch, I will see the ratings of all the movies according to his genre, let's say drama type or romantic type. Based upon that, the movie which is having highest rating, that I am going to suggest to that particular user, right? So the user's requirement will be fulfilled, right? So feedback you can take an explicit feedback, you can go for implicit feedback. So whenever you are browsing Flipkart or Amazon, or you can say Facebook, you are seeing a lot of ads are coming in the right side, right, or left side. So you are not interested for that particular one. Well, sometimes you have visited. Suppose I am searching a flight ticket from Meghalaya to Kolkata, right? So what I will do, whenever I am searching in the Make My Trip, okay, I have not booked my ticket, but whenever I am opening my Facebook, so automatically an ad is coming, the flight rate is increased or the flight rate is decreased or there is one seat left, something like that. So such kind of feedback will also help you to design the recommender system. You can also take the demographic information. Demographic information means you know that some products are there which is gender specific, that is used by male, not by female. Some products are there that is only female products, not the male products. So based upon that also you can do. And some products are there which is used by a particular age of group, a group of people, a particular age group. For example, 0 to 10 we are using diaper, right? 11 to 20 we are using some other products, right? So some products are only with respect to a age group, right? That also can help you. Similarly, some products are there which is profession oriented. Like in teaching professions, we are interested for the books, right? We may interested for some other items, but our main focus is we are searching maximum times whether this book is available in the Flipkart or Amazon or something like that. So that information you can take in order to suggest a particular thing. So that is called as our demographic information. You can also take the social informations. You can see how a particular user is related with another user, whether they are friend of each other or not, or what is the trust level of one person with another person. Let's say the trust level is very high. So whatever this user is purchasing, the same product may be purchased by this particular user. So such type of predictions you can do with the social information. So these are the things you can go for explicit feedback or you can go for implicit feedback. So coming to the database term, what you are doing. So with respect to each and every movie, what I am maintaining, let's say I am maintaining movie number 1. Movie number 1 is, let's say, romantic type, director is X and its details. Similarly, I maintain movie number 2 is drama type, director is Y and its details. So I can maintain this thing in Excel sheet very easily, right? Similarly, whenever you go for the feedback, what I can say, user 1 purchased a particular item X and rating is 4. He gave rating as 4. User 1 purchased another item Y, he gave the rating as 2 out of 5. That I can maintain here in the feedback system. Or if you go for a music domain, suppose I am listening a music repeatedly. That music is launched by a renowned, let's say, singer, and I am very much interested in that particular music. So I am listening that music multiple times. So that I can maintain here. User 1 listened a particular music X 32 times, right? User 2 listened a particular music Y, let's say 45 times. Why we are maintaining this one? Because this will help you to tell which music you are listening very frequently or which one you are interested for. So these things we are maintaining the database in order to predict a particular thing. Like demographic information, user 1 age group is belongs to 11 to 20. User 2 age group is belongs to, let's say, 31 to 40, something like that. Or in the social information case, you can maintain U1, U2, the trust level is, let's say, 0.5. U1, U3, the trust level is, let's say, 0.9, where we assume that the value close to 1, the value which is close to 1 is having more trustworthy. If the value is close to 0, they are not trustworthy. The person is not going to look for the product if it is suggested for, right? So such type of things you can maintain in a Excel file or in any database, or you can go for Microsoft SS, or you can go for SQL, whatever language you are comfortable, you can do with you are comfortable, that language you can use to implement a system. Now coming to the second one, there are two types of recommendation system. One is called as collaborative filtering system, another is called as content based system. So I am not going to this definition. I will tell you a small example so the idea will be more clear. See this example. What happened here? Let me rename this user as a user 1 and user 2. Okay. User 1 is interested in a particular book 1, right? Or user 1 has purchased the book number B1. User 2 also purchased another book B2, right? Assume that B1 and B2 are the two volumes. B1, B2 are the two volumes of the same type of book. Just like Nobel we are reading, right? In the Nobel there is a part 1, part 2. Nowadays movies are having also part 1, part 2, right? So many books are there, that is volume 1, volume 2 is there. So by looking into their purchase history, I found that these two users are interested in the same type of book. B1, B2, that is same type of book. Suppose in future, book 3 is launched, which is the volume 3 of that particular book. Let's say this is the volume 1, this is volume 2, this is volume 3. And this book number 3 is purchased by this user number 1. User 1 already purchased volume 1. User 2 purchased volume 2. User 3 in the future, she is purchased book number 3. She purchased the book number 3, right? Or book number 3 is nothing but the volume number 3. So what will happen? This suggestion is going to be the same suggestion. The book number 3 will be suggested to the U2. So we are assuming that U2 may be interested for that particular item. So what we are doing in the collaborative filtering system, we are establishing the relationship between the two users and finding the similar user based upon their interest, the similar user's interest. What we are doing, we are suggesting the products. Like these two users are similar, they are similar taste or similar interest. So whenever a user is purchasing one book, I am suggesting the same suggestion to the another user. Just like a prediction. Whether the user will purchase it or that is different thing. But we can suggest it and there is a chances that the user may purchase the things. That is called as our collaborative filtering system. Coming to the content based system, here what happened, the user 2 purchased a book B1. Let's say one book with volume 1. Volume 2 is now launched, right? Volume 2 is launched. So these two books are similar in nature because volume 1, volume 2 belongs to the same topic, right? More advanced way, volume 2 is the advanced one, but they are similar to each other. As U2 has purchased B1, whenever B2 is launched, automatically a recommendation will go to U2 to purchase that product. So that is called as a content based system. So you can see here in the collaborative system, we are interested between the choice between two different users, whereas in the content based system, we are interested for the items. We are looking into the item properties in order to suggest a particular product in the content based system. But in the collaborative system, we are interested for the choice of two different users. So if you go for the collaborative system, what we need? We need the ratings between the user and the item. Okay. Or you can say these ratings, if it is available, it is okay. Or it is given to you, right? Or you can also say instead of rating, the number of times you have purchased a particular product or number of times you are listening a particular music, that also required in the collaborative filtering system. So you can see here, the idea will be more clear in this slide. So you can see there are 11 number of users are there in the each row. This is Excel sheet. This is nothing but an Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, I have taken 11 rows. Okay, 12 rows. The first row I have taken for items. 11 rows I am writing U1 to U11. Similarly, I1 to I15. Just you take a small example. If you understood this small example, then the big problem also you can solve. So there is a 11 cross 15. What is 11? 11 number of users are there. 15 number of items are there. And U1, if you see here, U1 has purchased I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I7. After purchasing these products in his history, he rated 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 and 2 respectively. But I6 and I8 to I15 is not purchased by U1. Similarly, U2 case, U2 has purchased I1 to I5 and I7 but not purchased other items. So if you see in Excel sheet, whenever you click a particular box, you can see you can locate its row as well as in the column. So what I can say here, user U2 has not rated the item because he has not purchased. If a person has not purchased, how he will rate it? Or he has purchased and not responded the feedback form. Sometimes whenever we are purchasing the product, we are not rating. Several reminder is coming, but we are not interested to rate it. Or we are in our busy schedule, so that we have not rated it, right? So if a particular rating is there, like if you see this particular rating, this belongs to U6 as well as I7. So what you can say, U6 rated I7 is 4 after purchasing that particular item. Okay. In another sense, not necessarily the values is between the 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. It may be +1, -1 also. +1 means you like a particular item. -1 means you don't like a particular item. Like you can see here, this -1 indicates U2 does not like the item number I7. After purchasing this one, we are only rating +1, -1. -1 means you don't like, and if a +1 is there, U6 is like the item number I6. Right? And if there is a blank one is there, that indicates that user 2 has not rated the item 10, or user 2 has not purchased item number 10. So not necessarily the rating will be in the 1 to 5 scale or 1 to 10 scale, okay, or 1 to whatever scale you may assume. It may be anything, right? Similarly, you can see here another type of matrix. In this matrix, what happened? Here the values are very huge values. What I can conclude here, U1 listened I1 is a music, listened by U1 15 times. Similarly, U1 listened I3 55 times. U1 listened I7 21 times. Like that. If it is 0, then U2 has not listened music number I10. He has not listened. Okay. Till now he is not known that whether this music is there, or this music is not interested for you. So such type of things you can maintain. That's why I am saying sometimes we are writing rating, sometimes we are writing number of times. So it may be anything. But if you are going for the collaborative filtering system, you have to ensure that this particular matrix is given to you. But whenever you go for the content based system, what I have discussed in the movie case, we are maintaining the genre, director, that is required, and user's profile is required. We are requiring the item profile as well as we are requiring the user profile. User profile means what type of movie a particular user is interested for. Right? If you know that I am interested for the romantic music, then that type of music only you will suggest to me. That's why we are interested to maintain the item profile here as well as we want to maintain the user profile. So let us take a very quick example to understand this example. Suppose I have 5 smartphones. You assume that Flipkart has 5 smartphones. I am concentrating in a small example. S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. I can judge this particular smartphone in 2 ways. In terms of battery, in terms of display. So smartphone S1, if you see, battery is very good, but display is not that much good. Smartphone 2, battery is very excellent, but display is not at all good. Similarly, I can say smartphone S5, battery is not good, but display is good. So I am with respect to 2 features, one is battery and display, I am calculating the performance of 5 smartphones. So this matrix is called as our item feature matrix. There is no user history here. We are only focusing on the item feature matrix. Coming to this one, this is a user feature matrix. Here user is there. Suppose Flipkart is having only 4 users. One is Aman, Bob, Chandan and David. So what happened? I asked Aman what type of smartphone you require. He is saying I require a smartphone where battery is 90%. I am giving priority to more to the battery than the display. But I asked David. David is saying display is much more important than the battery. So we are maintaining a user feature matrix. In the previous slide, whatever you have seen, that is an item feature matrix. Here user is not there. In this case, item is not there, user is there. So these two types of metrics can be possible, right? Third type of matrix you can see, if user 1 has purchased a particular smartphone, what is the rating he gave earlier? Suppose you assume that user 1 has purchased smartphone 1 and smartphone 2. After purchasing these two smartphone 1 and smartphone 2, what you can say? His rating is 5 out of 5. Similarly, Bob purchased smartphone 1 S3 and S1 and S3. So his rating is 4.5 and 4 respectively, right? Now, what I am doing in the collaborative filtering system, in the first type of recommendation system, what you have? You are given with this matrix. This matrix is called as your rating matrix. So don't be confused. There are 3 matrices. One is this rating matrix. This matrix is called as our rating matrix, right? Second matrix is called as your user feature matrix. Okay, user feature matrix. Third one is called as your item feature matrix. Okay. In the collaborative system, this rating matrix is given to you, but in the content-based system, this is absent. This rating matrix is not available. That's why whenever you are building a machine learning project, you have to see what kind of data is available. Like in this case, I have to see which one is available. Based upon that, I can suggest whether I will go for the collaborative filtering system or I will go for the content-based system. So if you see here, I am taking this rating. I want to extract if out of these 3 metrics, if any 2 metrics you know, you can extract another matrix. Suppose I know that rating matrix and item matrix, I can generate user feature matrix. Or if I know user and item matrix, then I can generate the rating matrix. See here, with this matrix, what I can conclude, U1 S1 transpose is 5. U1 S1 transpose is 5. So I am assuming as the feature matrix is not given, as the feature matrix, smartphone feature matrix, this feature matrix is not given to you. What you can do, you have to assume that this feature matrix is x1 and x2. The feature values are x1 and x2. I do not know what is the value of x1, x2. That's why I am simply writing U1 S1 transpose is 5, U2 S1 transpose is 4.5. Why I am taking transpose? I will tell you in the next slide. Otherwise, the matrix multiplication is not possible, right? So you can see U1 S1 transpose is 5, U2 S1 transpose is 5. If I know this user feature matrix, rating matrix is known here, user feature matrix is known here. If I know this user feature matrix, then what I can do? I can predict this item feature matrix. So let us see in the next slide. The idea will be more clear. So U1 S1 transpose is 5. I told you in the previous slide. U2 S1 transpose is 4.5. Where you are getting these values? These values you are getting from the rating matrix. What else you know? You know the user feature matrix. In the user feature matrix, you can see there is a feature vector because you have 2 features. Based upon that, you can generate a vector. So if you put this vector in place of U1, if I put 0.90, 0.10, and let S1, the smartphone S1 feature, that because item feature matrix is not there, so I can assume that this value is x1 and x2, then I can solve this particular equation. So I am assuming this x1 and x2, the value is 5. So if you solve this one, you will get 0.90 into x1 plus 0.10 x2 is equal to 5.0. As there are 2 unknown values are there, so what you need, at least you require 2 equations, otherwise you cannot solve. So you have second equation, U2 S1 transpose is 4.5. You know U2's features is 0.8 and 0.2, which I am keeping here. And you know this value. So again, I am building another equation, that is 0.80x1 plus 0.20x2 is 4.5. Now you have two unknown and two equations. So if you solve these equations, you will get x1 value is 5.5 and x2 value is 0.5. What you are getting here? You are getting the feature of the item number S1. That's why I told you rating matrix is known to you and user matrix is known to you. What you have to extract? You have to extract the item feature matrix. This is your item feature matrix of smartphone S1. If it is clear, you can also repeat this process to generate the feature for S2, smartphone S2, smartphone S3, smartphone S4, and smartphone S5. Now all the three things is known to you. Rating matrix is known to you, user feature matrix is known to you, and you have generated the item feature matrix, so that is also known to you. Now, if you calculate U1 S1 transpose, U1 S2 transpose, like that U1 S5 transpose, right? By putting, because you know all the values, you are getting the rating values is 5 for the smartphone S1, 4.99 for the smartphone S2, 4.95 for the smartphone S3, 1 for smartphone S4, and 2.9 for smartphone S5. So you know that highest rating is given to S1, so you are going to suggest smartphone S1 to that particular user. If you want to suggest two smartphones, then you can take two best rating, that is S1 and S2. If 3, then S3. If 4, then you will choose S5 because S5 is 2.9 and S4 is 1. So in this way, you can solve a particular problem in the collaborative filtering system. Coming to the content-based system, in the content-based system, the rating matrix is not present. I told you, the rating matrix is not present. First matrix, rating matrix is not present. Which one is present? User feature matrix is present. This is your user feature matrix. Third one is your item feature matrix is given. If you know that user feature matrix and item feature matrix, you can multiply these two to get the rating matrix, as I mentioned in the previous slide. Okay, so if you multiply that, you will get smartphone S2 is best for that particular user because it is having highest value, and smartphone S3 is the next best, smartphone S1 is the third best, that not fine, and smartphone S4. So based upon the availability of the data, you can decide whether to go for the collaborative filtering system or the content-based system. Only we are playing with three metrics. One is rating matrix, another is user feature matrix, another is item feature matrix. Right? Okay. Now, what kind of problems you can address here? Now, you see in this scenario, I have 11 number of users. I told you this value earlier. There is a 11 users are there, and there is a 15 number of items are there. Now, a new user is coming. The new user is U12. New user is enrolling in the Flipkart or Amazon or any website you can say. So whenever U12 is entering his details in a particular online or e-commerce website, you do not have the past history of U12, right? Because U12 has a new user, U12 is a new user. You do not know what kind of items or what kind of movies or what kind of subjects in case of student he is interested for. So which item out of this I1 to I15, which item you are going to suggest U12? Because you do not know the particular user's choice. If you know, then it is fine. As you don't know, because it is a new user, it is very difficult to suggest a particular item to that particular user. One person may say that out of this I1 to I15, let's say I1 is a very famous item and having highest rating, I will suggest I1. That is one of the solution. But I do not know whether I1 will be liked by U12 or not. Whether I1 is liked by U12 or not. Whether I1 is interested for U12 or not. So this emerges a new type of problem that is called as your cold start problem. Right? Whenever a new user is coming, it is very difficult to suggest a particular item. Now coming to the same problem, suppose a new item is added in Flipkart. That item is not purchased by any user. Whenever a new item is launched, right? That item is not purchased by any user. So which user you are going to suggest this particular item. So that is also called as your cold start problem with respect to the new item. It may be with respect to the new user or it may be with respect to the new item, right? So it may be possible with respect to new user or new item. So this problem happens in the case of collaborative filtering system. But let us see whether the same thing can be happening in the content-based system. But whenever you go for the content-based system, in content-based system, what is there in the database? In your database, you are maintaining the genre. Genre is the type of the movie, right? Like Godfather is a crime movie. Godfather is a crime movie. Similarly, some movies romantic type, some movies drama type, some movies horror type, something like that. So whenever a new user is added to the system, like I am adding a new user, I am asking that user which type of movie you like. The user saying I like only crime type of movie. So what I will do is I know the choice of this particular user. So in my database I can search which movie is crime type. You can find that Godfather is a movie which is crime type. So this Godfather movie can be suggested to this particular user. So in this way, if you see, you can avoid this cold start problem in the content-based recommender system, right? Now, my first question is solved. Let us go to the second question quickly. If you build a particular recommendation system, in fact, it is the third question. I told you with respect to database one question, with respect to the recommender system there is a question, with respect to a set of items there is a question. So I am going to the third question, not to the second question. Second question is the test case, right? I will give you a numerical example. So if you see the third question says how to evaluate a recommendation system. Suppose I build a particular recommender system, then how I can assure that this recommendation system is a good recommendation system or it is performing better. So you have to take some parameter. It may be the CGPA of the system or it may be the quality of the product whenever you are purchasing from the Flipkart, right? So it may be depend upon these particular factors and some other factors as well. So first one is accuracy. What accuracy is saying? Do I like what the recommendation system recommend me? Suppose Flipkart is suggesting you a particular computer system. Whether that computer system is liked by me or not, whether it is fulfilling my requirement or whether I am going to purchase that particular computer or not. If I am purchasing the computer, then the recommendation system is good because it has suggested a product, you have followed, you have purchased that particular product. That's why the question asked in the accuracy, do I like whatever the recommendation system is suggesting here, the same thing is interested for a particular user or not, whether a user is interested for that particular product. Coming to the second one, diversity. Does the recommendation system offer me different kind of item? Different kind of item means whenever you are going for a computer system, you have a specifications. That specification may be satisfied by Flipkart, by Dell system, maybe by HP, maybe by Apple, right? Maybe by some other computer providers, right? So different kind of items, whether this recommendation system is generating for a particular user or not. It will say that these configurations are provided by 5 companies, but this company is giving 50% discount. So user may be interested for this 50% discount item because all the configuration is same, right? Third one, trust. Trust says that has the recommendation system the ability to convince me about their recommendation. So you have added a particular item into your cart. You have a cart in your e-commerce website, Flipkart, right? There is a cart. So you have added that product to the cart, but you are not purchasing it. So what Flipkart will write to you? It will say that this product is having rating 4.5. This product is recently purchased by few people. It left with only one product. So it will try to tell some history so that you will purchase that particular product. Or sometimes what happens, it will say that if you purchase this product by tonight, then I will give extra 5% discount. Or 100 rupees coupon is attached here. So this coupon you can use to purchase this particular product, right? So that is the question says that has the recommendation system convinced me about the recommendations. Next one, how surprising the recommendations. Surprising are the recommendations. Nowadays, shopping websites are taking your marriage date or they are taking your date of birth. So they are saying this month is your anniversary or this month is your birthday month. So here there is a coupon of 200 rupees. You can purchase any item from the, let's say, entertainment category or book category or XYZ category. So such type of surprising things we have to give, right? We will see that the user is repeatedly visiting to a particular website, but he is not purchasing the things. But if you give some kind of offer, then the user may be interested for that particular product, right? So such type of surprising things also the recommendation system will provide so that that user may be interested for that particular product. So this is the architecture of the recommendation system. We'll go in details of the architecture. So earlier I told you 4 components. One is user, second is your database, third is the recommender system, fourth is whatever item it is suggesting, right? So in this case, we'll go in depth analysis. So you can see database, I am using a filter because database you have a lot of things which may not be interested for a particular user, right? So what I will do, I will use a particular filter so that I can filter whatever I want from the database, right? So suppose I have filtered and I found that this particular movie may be interested for this particular user. So I told this user to rate this particular movie. You please watch this particular movie and rate this particular movie, or simply rate this particular movie. The user is giving rating as 4.5. So what you are doing here, you are doing some matchmaking process. A movie, whether you are interested or not, based upon that you are giving the value out of 5. Then I am suggesting another movie and I told the user to suggest what is the rating. The user is suggesting the movie as 2.3 out of 5. Similarly, I am giving another one. I am asking the user to rate it. User is giving 4.7. Like that, this process may continue, right? So out of this set of movies, now you tell me if I want to choose two movies only, 2 movies to see or generate the characteristics of this particular user. So which 2 I will take? I will take these 2 because these 2 scores are very high. The user may repeatedly watch these 2 movies instead of this particular movie because he has rated high, or my recommendation system suggested these ratings. Okay, and by looking into these ratings, I found that these 2 values are very high. So I will suggest these 2 movies to this particular user. Right? It is not necessary that user is only rating, right? We are only guessing. We are doing the prediction, and we found that the rating is 4.5, 2.3, 4.7 may be given by this particular user if he watched that particular movie. So out of these 3, you can see the best one is these 2 movies. So what we can do, we can suggest these 2 movies to this particular user. So what you are doing, you can see in this the complete picture here. So we are again using a filtering system here to select 2 movies out of a set of movies. So if you see the architecture of the recommendation system, you can see here we have 2 different filters, 1 matchmaking process, and other components are here. Like user is here, database is here, and set of items is there. And if you see inside the recommendation system, what you have 2 filters with 1 matchmaking process. This is the complete architecture of our recommender system. Now, recommendation system is further divided into 2 parts. I will take only 5 minutes to highlight it, then we will go for our illustration. So, recommendation system, I told you it is divided into 2 parts. One is our collaborative filtering system, another is content-based system. Further, it is divided into 2 parts. One is called memory-based system, another is model-based system. Yesterday's lecture also I told you, there is a knowledge-based AI learning model, there is a feedback-based learning model. One type is saying inductive or deductive learning, another side we learn supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement or semi-supervised learning. So such concept will come here in the memory-based and model-based system. Okay, come to the memory-based system. In the memory-based system, what happened? You are given with a rating matrix. The rating matrix is nothing but A set of users is given and set of items is given. And whether a user is like a particular item or not, that is based upon these ratings. So these ratings is given to you. Now you see U1, U2 and U3 and U10. If you see these four users more or less, they purchase the same type of item. If you see overall in the, without going to the implementation, one can say U1, U2, U3, U10 belongs to one category. U4, U5, U6 and U11 belong to one category. U7, U8, U9 belongs to one category. Now, I want to suggest a particular product to U3. So I have seen U3, the choice of U3 matches with U1, U2, U10. If I compare it, then two products, I3 and I7, which is purchased by U1, U2 or U10, they have purchased it, but U3 has not purchased it. Like you can see, this particular item is purchased by U1 and U2, and this particular item is purchased by U1, U2 and U10. So what I can do, these two items I can suggest to U3. But I have seen this particular item is rated 5 by 5 by U1, U2 and U3. But this particular product, if you see, it is rated 2 by 5 and 1 by 5 by U1 and U2. So in comparison to these two products, you can see the highest rating we are getting in this particular product. So what I have to do, I have to suggest this particular item to this user as it is matching the U1 and U2. So such type of system is called as our memory based system, right? Now come to the model based system. In model based system, what we are doing, we are not taking the database, we are converting the database into a model database. A database is converted to a model database. How you are converting a database into model database? By applying a learning model. You may apply supervised learning, you may apply unsupervised learning or something like that. You convert the database into model database. In database, you may have rating. You have seen in the previous slide, we have rating. But in the model database, you don't have rating. What you have a set of features. Like I have written features 1 to feature k. And these features is with respect to the user and with respect to the item. And we have to deal with these features. Like I told you in unsupervised learning, I am looking different expression of a particular person's face. I have taken 10-20 features of a single person. I am learning from their face. There are different moods they have. By looking into their mood, I am developing a particular model. Why I am building that particular model? That model will be applicable to all. Right? That's why instead of going for this rating, what we are doing, we are going for the different type of features. Such type of systems is called as a model-based system. After determining the features of the user, like we have 3 features with respect to user 3, and I have 3 features with respect to item 3. So what I have to do, I have to multiply the corresponding features. Like 0.95 is multiplied with 0.87. 0.02 is multiplied by 0.50, 0.02 is multiplied by 0.50. So I am getting the score value is 0.86. Similarly, I will go for other items as well. I will calculate the score, and wherever I am getting good score, there I will suggest that particular product or particular item to that particular user. Right? So that type of system is called as our model-based system. Okay, so this is the system. What we are doing, database is converted to the model database, and you know there are 2 different filters in the recommender system, I told you, and there is a matchmaking process. So that we can suggest a set of items to a particular user. Okay, so this model DB concept is coming under the model based system, not in the memory based system. Coming to the content based system, I told you in the content based system, the rating matrix is not given. While we are discussing collaborative filtering with content-based system, you know that the content is there. Content means the item details is there, user details is there, but rating matrix is not there. Item details means you can see this is a news clip I have taken. Let the news clip is called as item number 2, right? So with this news clip, what I can do, I can find the occurrences of each and every individual word, like THE, D is repeated how many times, world is repeated how many times, bank is repeated how many times. I can analyze. Let us see here. In this paragraph, if you see, after finding the occurrences of the words, you will find the stop words are having more frequency, and you have to remove these stop words. And removing these stop words I am not telling because it is a different topic, that is natural language processing, which is another topic of artificial intelligence. So what I am saying, I am identifying the important words from this news clip. Let the important words are World Bank is repeated 1 time, GDP is repeated, let's say 5 times. Okay, that is GDP, not GPD. This is a spelling mistake. So GDP is repeated 5 times. So what I will do, like a rating matrix, what I can generate, I will take the words in the column and number of times it is occurring in the news clip. I have taken the news clip 1. I have seen that goal is repeated 4 times, RM is repeated 4 times, FCB, CR is repeated how many times I can record. So these are the specific type of football. So after finding this one, I can say item 1 means news clip 1, news clip 2, news clip 3 is more or less there. So if you are interested in the news clip I1, I can also suggest news clip I2, I3 to you. So such type of system is called as content-based, memory-based system. Okay. Now you can see here, if someone is interested for I1 and I2, I can also suggest I3 because the word which is repeated in I1 and I2, more or less that is repeated in I3. Right? So that is your memory-based system, but it is coming under the content-based system. The last one, content-based, but it is model-based. What you have to do in the model-based, I told you, database need to convert it to the model database. Here the rating matrix is not there because you are dealing with the content-based system. After converting the model base, you will generate the feature. Okay. After finding the feature, you will multiply. You can see here. Yes, after generating these features, what you can do, you will multiply the corresponding feature of the user with the corresponding feature of the item to generate a particular score. And the item which is having highest score will be given to as a suggestion to a particular user. Okay, so this is called as the different types of system, model based system. Now come to the last part, that is called as how we are going to evaluate the accuracy of a recommender system. So in the machine learning, you may heard that database is divided into 2 parts. One is called as your training set, another is testing set. If you are not familiar, I will give a non-technical example. In a particular subject, a teacher covers a particular topic, let's say in 40 classes. So we are taking 40 hours of teaching in each and every semester. Okay. After that, after these 40 classes, the student has to appear 3 hours of end exam, let's say 1 hour of mid exam, and 2 hours of some rest exams, quiz test or surprise test, something like that. So what the student is spending 6 hours in exam after getting 40 hours of teaching, or in between 40 hours of teaching, you are also taking exam. So what we are doing, we are dividing the database into 2 parts. One is the training data set, another is the testing data set. And usually if you see the ratio between the training and testing data set suggested by many authors is that 70:30, or you can go for 80:20. 80:20. Like you can see, how we are spending 40 hours in teaching, but we are taking 6 hours. Don't take 50-50. 50-50 means the student has to appear the exam for 20 hours, which is not practically true. Right? So you have to divide the database into 2 parts. One is training data set, another is testing data set. Now, you are asking the recommendation system to suggest a particular item, and you are checking what the student, or you can say, you know the actual answer. Whatever question is there in the paper, question paper, you know the exact answer, and you are asking the student to write the answer in the answer script, and you are checking whether student is writing the same thing, what is the correct thing or not. In this recommendation system term, what we are saying, recommendation system is suggesting something, and whether the user is purchasing that item or not, that we have to compare, which is called as your confusion matrix. So you can see here, does the user like the item? Yes or no? If user like the item, I will put yes. If the user is not like that item, I will put no. On the other hand, what I can say, whether the recommendation system is suggesting that item or the recommendation system has not suggested that particular item. Based upon that, this confusion matrix you can prepare. So C1, you can see in this example, you are suggesting these two movies to the user, these two movies to this particular user, but this user is not interested in these two movies. Means user recommendation system has suggested some movie, but user is not liking that particular movie, which we call as your false positive, which is called as also type 1 error, right? In the next case, you can see you have suggested two movies, but user has not interested in these two movies. User is interested in some other movie. So in this case, what you can say, user choice is yes. If you see this particular movie case, user choice is yes, but recommendation system has not suggested that particular movie. That is called as your false negative or type 2 or error. The error is called as type 2. Third case, you have suggested a particular movie, means recommendation system has suggested a particular movie, and user also like that particular movie. So user case it is yes, recommendation system case it is yes. So that is called as true positive. So out of these things, you know that true positive need to be maximum. If true positive is maximum, then you can say you can easily evaluate the accuracy of the system, right? Next is, you can see the last type of error, you have not suggested anything, user is not interested for that item. That is called as a true negative. User is also not interested, recommendation system also not suggested. That is called as a true negative. So based upon these four factors, what you can do, you can calculate the efficiency of a particular system. Apart from this, you can calculate, once you calculate these terms, you have to rely on these parameters in order to calculate it. For example, one parameter is called as precision. How you have to check the accuracy of the system? By the help of this parameter. Precision is saying the true positive divided by true positive or false positive. What it indicates? If you see the denominator part says recommendation system's decision is yes, but numerator is saying you select the things which is yes for recommendation system as well as the user system. That is called as our precision. Once you determine this TP, FP and FN, you can calculate, you can put these values to calculate the precision. But what recall is saying, recall is the reverse thing. Recall is saying user decision should be yes in the denominator part. If you see it, true positive and false negative. User decision should be yes. In the numerator part, both decisions should be yes. And there is always a conflict between the precision and recall. In order to resolve the conflict, there is another parameter that is called F-score. So after calculating the precision and recall, if you calculate 2 into precision into recall, divide by precision and recall, and if you are getting better F-score, then you can say your recommendation system's accuracy is better. Right? So these are the formulas you have to use to evaluate the system. Now you can calculate two different types of error, which I already told you before. Like recommendation system is suggesting that if you watch this particular movie, you are going to give the rating as 4.5. But after watching this movie, you are giving only 4. So what is the error? 4.5 by 4 is equal to 0.5. That is called as our mean absolute error. Okay. But what we are doing in root mean square error, in this MAE, mean absolute error, you are taking modulus. Why you are taking modulus? Sometimes this rating is 4, this rating is 4.5. So in that case, if there is no modulus, it will come 4 minus 4.5. So it is a negative rating, and there is no meaning of negative rating. Like there is nothing called minus 5 rupees. There is no meaning. That's why we are taking modulus. So what we are doing in RMSE, instead of taking this modulus, what we are taking? We are taking square, because you know that square of any number is a positive number, and we are taking the square root. Right? So these are the two things you have to calculate. In addition to the precision, recall, and F score, you have to calculate MAE, RMSE. And MAE, RMSE should be as low as possible in order to say that the system is performing better. Right? So with these introductions and things, let us see this example. So I have taken a 11 cross 15 matrix. So this project also you can give to your students. Let us them to predict the ratings of these e-commerce websites. So I'll tell you in two parts. I'll tell you how to design a recommendation system, very simple design, and how you are going to evaluate the recommendation system, whatever we discussed. So here you can see U1 has purchased few items like I1, I2, I3, I5, and I8. U2 has purchased some other items, and some other items are and few other items are not purchased by the user. What is our objective? Our objective is to predict the rating. And once you predict the rating, you suggest some item to a particular user. That is our objective. So a very simple design one can suggest. One can suggest here. Let me go to this particular slide, and I'll come to this slide. One can suggest you calculate the average rating of each and every individual item. Average rating means you can see item number 1 is purchased by U1, U2, U6 and U11. Okay, item number 1 is purchased by U1, U2, U6 and U11. So what is the average rating? You can say 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 divided by 4. 3 plus 4 is 7, this is 2, 9 and this is 1, 10. 10 divided by 4, so this is 2.50. Similarly, if you come to I3, I3 is purchased by again 4 user. 5, 4, 4 and 2 is given by U1, U2, U3 and U7. So if you sum these ratings, 5, 4 is 9, 4, 13 to 15. 15 divided by 4, so you will get 3.75. So what you are doing here, you are converting your database to the model database. How you are doing? Through a learner. You are building a particular model. What is the model? You are taking average measure or mean measure in order to calculate the average rating of the item. Why you are calculating average? You are going to predict how much rating a user is going to give to a particular item. Okay. So you can see after calculating these average values, what you can do, wherever you get a blank one, here you are getting blank one means the user has not purchased that particular item. There I am putting this average value. Like you can see U3, U4, U5, U7 to U10, they have not purchased item 1, but item 1's average is 2.50, so I am putting 2.50 here. Similarly, for other cases, you can see I3 case, U4 to U6 and U8 to U11 has not rated. Or they purchased or not rated, or they have not purchased. So their average rating is 3.75, so I am putting 3.75 here. So once you put this one, why you are putting this value? These are the average rating you are putting. Your model is average. Average may not be may not perform well, but this example I am giving you to motivate to work in this particular domain. Right? Only a simple measure I am taking as mean. Somebody may claim that the standard deviation is better than the mean. So after predicting these ratings, if you see U1 case, you are seeing item 6, item 10 and item 13, which is not purchased by U1, the prediction is coming 5 out of 5. So what I can do? I can suggest I6, I10, I13 to U1 if I want to suggest 3 items. If I want to suggest 2 items, any 2 I can choose, I6, I10 or I10, I13, I can suggest to U1. Similarly, U6 case, if you see, if I choose 3 items out of these predicted rating, these 3 rating, I5, I13 and I14 are the rating where the values are close to 5 or 5. So I am going to suggest these 3 items to U6. Right? So this way you can design a recommender system where I have taken mean as a model to design the system. Now what is my next question? I build a design a recommendation system. but I have to check whether my recommendation system is performing well or not. That's why I need to evaluate my recommendation system. So in order to evaluate the recommendation system, what we are doing? In order to evaluate our student performance, what we are doing? Whatever covered in the class or whatever related to whatever things we have covered in the class, that we are putting in the question paper. So this is the matrix is given to you. So what I am doing, these colored boxes are the questions that I have set in my question paper, which may be directly related, which may be indirectly related. In this case, it is directly related. So these colored boxes I have removed. Why? Because that I will build a testing data set. Testing data set means our end semester examination or the final examination. And whatever ratings are here, these things I have covered in my class. That is called as my training data set. Colored boxes are the testing data set, that is question paper. Uncolored boxes are my training data set, which is I covered in my class. So you can see in the next slide, these values will not be there. So you see, these values are not there. You can see here 4 is there, but here 4 is not there. So I have removed it. This is my training data set. So I have separated the training data set with the testing data set. Now what I will do, in this training data set, I will apply my own model. What is our model? How we have designed the recommendation system? We have designed the recommendation system using the mean measure or the average measure. How you are calculating? You are checking which user purchased a particular item and accordingly you are calculating the average. Like in this case, 3 plus 4 plus 2. So that is 9 divided by 3. So I am writing the average is 3. If you remember in the previous case, it is 2.50. Because I have removed this particular rating of the testing data set, that's why instead of 2.50, it is coming 3. Similarly, in this case, if you see 5, 5, 5, 5, so average is also 5. Now what I will do, I will ask the student to write in the examination. Once the student has completed, what I will check, I know what is the exact answer. These are the exact answer. These colored boxes are the exact answer. I will check whatever answer the student has written, the same answer is here or not. If there is a same answer, then what you can say? If there is a same answer, then I will give full mark. If the same answer is not there, then I will give a partial mark or 0 mark. So you can see these are the things I have removed for the testing data set, and these are the predictions. These are the average predictions, whatever I got in this particular slide. Then I am comparing. And these values are you have removed, and these are the predictions. So what I will calculate? I can calculate mean absolute error or root mean square error. How I will calculate mean absolute error? The actual rating is 4, the actual answer is 4, but the student is saying 2.75. So this is the error, 4 minus 2.75. Similarly, in this case, plus 4 minus 3.67, 5 minus 5, 1 minus 4.80. Like that you have to add, and 12 elements you have removed. That's why denominator part you have 12. So here you are getting mean absolute error is 1.18. If it is close to 0, then it is a better one. If one algorithm is giving 1.18, another algorithm is giving 1, then obviously 1 is better. And what we are doing in RMSE, I told you, instead of taking this modulus, you can take square and square root. Then you will get RMSE. So these are the different measures we are using to calculate the accuracy of the system. After calculating ME and RMSE, what you will do? There is 2 other measures we will discuss. One is called as precision, another is called as recall. In order to calculate the first one, that is precision, what you will do? You will put a particular threshold value. What is the threshold value? The threshold value is, let's say, set as 4. So you will check out of this predicted rating, you know this is the actual rating and this is the predicted rating. What you will check? Out of this predicted rating, how many ratings are greater than 4? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is nothing but your denominator. Out of these predicted rating, means out of this 12 predicted rating, 7 ratings are greater than 4. I am putting a threshold, 4. And after identifying this denominator part, you will go to the corresponding rating of the actual one. These are the positions of the predicted one which is greater than 4. the corresponding position of the actual rating is here, and you will see how many ratings are greater than 4. You can see 6 ratings are greater than 4, but this position your predicted is 4.8, but actual one is 1. So it is 6. So out of this 12, first 5 you have ruled out in this case, in denominator case. In the numerator case, you are checking the corresponding position of the predicted rating, whether it is greater than 4 or not. So out of 7, 6 is greater. So you are getting the precision value is 0.86. It should be maximized, right? If the maximum value is better. Now the reverse thing is called as recall. You will check how many ratings are greater than 4. How many actual ratings are greater than 4. You can see in this slide, 9 ratings are greater than 4. That is nothing but your denominator. And you will go to the corresponding position in the predicted rating, and you will check that how many values are greater than 4. You can see only 6 values are greater than 4. So your numerator is 6. So that is 6 by 9, you will get 0.67. So once you calculate this precision recall, you can go for F score. I told you F score is equal to 2 into precision into recall divided by precision recall. Okay. So this implementation I will share with Dr. Bunil. So you please collect. I will give a simple Excel sheet in which already I have put all the formulas. Whatever we have discussed theoretically, the same thing you can implement in Microsoft Excel. Already I have implemented in Microsoft Excel. That file also I will share along with this slide. So please collect it from the coordinator and try to exercise that thing in the Microsoft Excel if you are not comfortable in any programming languages, right? So this is my conclusion. RS is a very informative tool in nowadays, because due to the emerging e-commerce websites and nowadays people are interested in online shopping. So the future research is saying if you do a good prediction, if you can design a project or something like that, where you can go for the actual rating, where the error is minimized, then you can say the recommendation system accuracy can be improved. So this is all from my side. So if you have any questions, you can ask. So let me check if there is any question in the chat box.
Can we have the last but one conclusion slide before the thank you slide? Before the thank you slide.
My screen is visible, right? Because participants are writing, my screen is not visible. I don't know whether it is visible or not.
It's visible, sir.
Okay.
Will you take any session for implementation, like how we can actually implement it? These are all theoretical, like theoretically we have understood how to create the recommendation system.
Yes. Just I will tell, if you give 5 minutes, then I will show the demo, right? Whatever I want to share, just I want to show you, okay? So that you will get the details. Okay, you can see here, I am taking a rating matrix here, right? The same rating matrix, whatever I have discussed. And you must habituated with the formulas associated with Microsoft Excel. So you know how to calculate average. There is a inbuilt formula, average is there, right? So you can calculate the average with respect to the items. So here I have calculated the average with respect to the item. Then whatever predicted rating you are getting, I am generating another matrix. Wherever you can see these 3 users and these 4 users, total 7 users have not purchased the item number 1. So this average rating is predicted here. Just I am writing another formula to predict it. You go through this formula, right? Then I am building the training data set as well as the testing data set. Okay, by writing another couple of formulas, right? You can go through these formulas. I am preparing the training data set and the testing data set, and I am making the prediction here, okay, by applying some formula. Whatever we discussed theoretically, the same formula is written here. So these are the positions where you can see the X position where the ratings I have removed, that is your testing data set, and these testing data sets I am predicting here, and finally I can calculate these are the actual values, and I can calculate the measures, mean absolute error, root mean square error, precision, recall, these things I can calculate. So irrespective of the size of the matrix, if you are compatible with the small data set, you can implement it in Microsoft Excel. Any other questions you can ask? Can you please explain slide number 56 again? Okay, I'm going to slide number 56. Yes, in slide number 56, I told you, user like a particular item, right? This particular movie is liked by the user, but that is not suggested by the recommendation system. So in the recommendation system, this movie is supported, right? Out of these two movies, if I concentrate only on this particular movie, this movie is watched by this particular user, but that is not suggested by the recommendation system. So that is called as our...
Sir, we are not able to see the slide. 56 slide number. We can see only Excel sheet.
Is it visible now? Others please respond. Or is it not visible?
No, sir.
Okay, let me...
Sir, the slide is not visible. That is, we were able to see the Excel sheet.
Okay. I hope now it is visible. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see in this particular slide, these two movies suggested by the recommendation system. If I concentrate only on this, and these two movies are watched by a particular user. So you can see here, if you concentrate only on this particular movie, this movie is watched by this user, which is not suggested by the recommended system. So recommendation system, it is no, but user like that particular movie, it is yes. So such type of error is called as false negative error or called as type 2 error. Why you are calculating this one? Because in order to calculate this precision and recall, you require true positive, false positive, and these things, right? So that's why we are calculating these 4 values, and we are preparing the confusion matrix.
Sir, can you please tell the difference between testing data and training data?
Testing data, madam, you can say, just I told you a non-technical example, whatever questions you are setting for your student is called as your testing data set. Whatever questions what you are discussing in class, that is called as your training data set. Or in technical terms, you can say, if a data set is given to you, in order to calculate the efficiency of the system, like I told you example here, you can see this this case, right? So why I am removing these ratings? Because I know what is the actual outcome. Whatever questions we are put to our students in the examination, we know what is the exact answer, right? That's why we are putting to check that whether the student is performing well or not. That's why we are removing some data from the actual sheet. That is called as our testing data set. And whatever remaining, that is called as your training data set. Training to testing ratio is usually taken as 70:30 or 80:20, as suggested by various researchers and various people, right? So we want to just remove it because we know the actual outcome. That's why we are removing to preparing the testing data set.
Testing data set is a subset of training data set?
No, actually there is a data set, okay, whatever we are collecting. Generally in this case, you may be habituated with IMDb website. Whenever we are watching a particular movie, we are referring IMDb website. Suppose I have collected the IMDb data set. Now this data set, I have to split the training data set into two parts. One is training data set, another is testing data set. And if you see, whatever data available in the training data set, that should not be available in the testing data set. Both should be disjoint of each other. But whenever you are collecting a data set in the machine learning or artificial intelligence, we break down this data set into 2 parts. Testing data set, one is another is training data set. Basically, we train a particular model using training data set. Once the model is trained, we test the performance of the model using the testing data set. It is a subset of, you can say, of a data set, not a training data set. Training and testing is completely different. They are belongs to a particular data set.
Okay, sir.
So can you show slide number 20?
Slide number 20, 20?
20.
Okay. Yes, please tell me.
So here if we are taking user 1 and user 2. So we got
Yes.
these 2 values as S1 and S2. Sorry,
Yes.
X1 and X2 we got 2 values. But if we take U3 and U4, we will get some other values for X1 and S2, right?
But in this case, you can see, madam, only S1 is purchased by U1 and U2. That's why I have taken for with respect to the smartphone. I am generating the features.
Okay, so if
If other things are there, the value will be different. Yes, you are correct. If other values are there, the value will be different.
Allah, if user 3 also purchased a S1, then we will use 3 users for finding out these.
Yes, you can take any two, ma'am. Any two to generate the feature.
Any two.
Yes,
So it
yes,
will be
yes,
dependent on the values which we are taking for.
yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes.
Sir, in continuation to that doubt, it so happens that in this user case,
Madam, I hope
we
your
have-
voice is breaking. Can you please write in the chat box?
Yeah, sure.
Or is it network connection problem from my side? I don't know. My voice is audible clearly. Can anybody respond? My voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Madam, please ask, ma'am. Or you can write in the chat box.
I am typing in the chat box, sir.
Madam, I believe that your voice is breaking. If there is no internet connection from my side. Okay.
Sanjay sir, sorry to interrupt you. I think we should end this session because we will have to start that new session at 11. Sorry to participants that who are left with their doubts. But I would like to thank Dr. Sanjay Kumar Panda sir for that valuable session for that recommender system, and that all the participants, I'm sure that all the participants have find that that is quite interesting because it is very useful nowadays. So I again on the behalf of the Department of Computer Science, I would like to thank Dr. Sanjay Kumar Panda for that wonderful session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So we will start that new session at 11:30. So please join that 11:30. Again, that session will be very informative related to that human-machine interactions. So thank you all. We will join for that next session at 11:30. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I am answering. We are formally closing the meeting, but let me answer this question.
Yes, sir. Okay? Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, madam is asking that suppose 3 users have brought 2 mobile. 3 users have brought 2 mobile. Okay. Then the vector multiplication, how we do? 3 users brought 2 mobile. Okay. In this case also you can see, madam, that I have taken per user they have purchased 2 mobile phone. Per user 2 mobile phone. I have taken 4 user and 4 user purchased. Each user has purchased at least 2 mobile phone. So if you are creating a particular equation, as you are solving the equations, you can take any two. If there is a multiple, if you think that you want to build 2 equations, but you have data for 3 equations, any 2 equations you can take to find a particular solution. There is no problem. Is it clear, ma'am? You can take any 2 equations to solve the problem. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience listening. If you have any doubt, you can write to me. I am sending my email ID in the chat box. Okay, as well as my mobile number. You can write or you can contact me if you have any doubt. Okay. I have also shared I hope the link of all the videos. You can also see the videos. Videos are already there. You can check these videos. So thank you everyone. So I am formally closing this meeting. Thank you everyone for your patience listening.